Alright guys, so super exciting Moyu unboxing today, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. So we'll start off with the relatively budget cubes first and then work our way up into the more exciting stuff. So here are Moyu's budget cubes under another subsidiary brand. I believe it's called Cubing Classroom. But yeah, we'll just get started with the 3x3. Now, I'm not expecting any of these to be main worthy or anything like that, but they're pretty cool if you want to just start a cubing club or you just need multiples of a certain cube. But yeah, the 3x3, it's basically like a Weilong. It does for some reason feel a little bit higher quality. I'm not feeling any flash on the pieces. So yeah, I suppose these are capped pieces, so you don't have to worry about anything scratching you or anything like that. But you know, it's nothing too special. It feels a little bit faster than the Weilong. It's not as sandy. But yeah, pretty cool cube if you're just wanting to, you know, share the hobby and stuff like that. So into their 5x5 now. Alright, so immediately holding it, it feels relatively heavy for a 5x5, but let's just turn this thing. That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. It has a really crispy but smooth feeling, very much so like the Yushin 5x5. A little bit of locking up, but of course it could either be the tensions that it's on right now, because it is fairly loose out of the box, but it could also be my sloppy turning style. But first impressions, it feels like a more stable Yushin 5x5. So yeah, still those classic 5x5 lockups out of the box, but I'll have to set this thing up since it is quite a bit looser than I would like it to be. But you know, out of the box, it's actually not too bad. It definitely exceeded my expectations. And so if you're looking for a pretty good 5x5 with a lower price tag, then definitely check this thing out. I believe it's called the MF5S. Alright, so the next cube here is the Chufeng from MoHuanShouSu, I believe. Yeah, so pretty cool box, but into the actual cube now. Moyu has come out with a lot of subsidiary brands lately, like the M3 from Moju and stuff like that, but here is the Chufeng. So, turns, wow. That is super fast. Immediately though, I'm getting like a Weilong vibe from it. It feels a lot like the Weilong, but a little bit more clacky feeling. It has that same overall bumpy and hollow feeling like the Weilong, but it's definitely a lot faster, and it's actually a little bit more unstable. It's flexing a little bit more than I would like it to. But, you know, I have to set this thing up and see how it is. Corner cutting out of the box is actually really nice. Past 45 super easily. Really effortless reverse. So, out of the box, you know, it's nothing too special, but I wouldn't really recommend it unless you like super crispy cubes, because it is pretty annoyingly loud. But, you know, overall, nothing too special, but nothing too spectacular. So, we'll just get into the other cubes now. So, we have here the Weilong Square 1. Now, for a long time, the Chi has been the best Square 1 on the market, so now we have a competitor. Alright, so here is the WeiShi. Definitely not as rounded off as the Chi, but let's just do some turns. Wow, super, super smooth. The slices are honestly a little bit slower than the Chi, but still a really pleasant speed. Layers are definitely a lot faster than the Chi, in my opinion. Yeah, it's really, really nice. It, of course, feels like a Weilong. It's super smooth. It has a gliding, buttery feeling to it. It's honestly locking up just a little bit, but that could just be the tensions. It feels a little bit tight, so I'll just have to see how it is after some setting up. Corner cutting isn't too great either, so, you know, again, it could either be the tensions or just the flooring cut holes. Maybe they're not big enough. But out of the box, you know, I can't really decide which one is better, either this or the Chi, because the Chi, after lubing it, slows down quite a bit, especially on the layers. So I'll just have to see how this is after some setting up. Alright, so on to the next cube, the Cong's Design Skewb. Alright, so here is definitely some really large flooring cut holes, especially compared to the Chi or the Moyu, but we'll just do some turns. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely really liking the Skewb so far. The Chi was nice, but it was a little bit too fast for me, a little bit too unstable. This has a little bit of a stronger click, so it's a little bit more controllable for me personally. and it's definitely a lot faster than the Moyu. It locks up a little bit less because the clicks on the Moyu were a little bit harsher. So I think this is a really nice in-between, you know? It almost feels like a combination of the two. So yeah, definitely a really nice Skewb so far, so I really would recommend looking into this. Alright, so the last cube, let's take a look at this WeiShi GTS, their newest 6x6. And so my main currently is the Yushin Red with Yushin 5x5 springs, but I'm curious to see how this is. You know, I know Chi is also making a new 6x6. Alright, and so here it is. So it's definitely bigger than the Yushin Red. I think it's the same size as the Aoshi, so I'll have to get used to it, but let's just see how this thing turns. Wow, that is really smooth. It's like buttery gliding. So a little bit of a lockup there, but you know, I'll have to tension this thing and just see how it is. Yeah, these inner layers are super nice. Wow, I'm really loving the feeling. But as for stability, it's definitely a lot more stable than the Yushin Red. It's honestly a little bit sluggish, but I'll have to clean out the factory loop and just see how it is after, you know, a full setup and all that. But yeah, definitely not having as much risk of popping as the Yushin 6x6, even with the spring swap. I am getting a few lockups here and there, but that mainly just has to do with me not being used to the size, because I am used to the smaller size of the Yushin Red. But, you know, I'll play with this thing a little bit more and just get a little bit more comfortable with it, and so that should fix the issue. Corner cutting is really nice to do, super effortless. But yeah, out of the box, I'm definitely really liking this thing. I really think it could be better than the Yushin Red. I'll just have to see how it is after some setting up. Alright, so that about wraps it up for this huge Moyu unboxing. I'm definitely really enjoying all these cubes, the WeiShi GTS especially. And you know, I think a lot of these puzzles just need a proper setup and just need some breaking in to get really good. But they all have main worthy potential. And so if you want to see any setup videos, follow-up videos, or reviews on especially one puzzle, then definitely let me know in the comments and I'll work towards that. But I hope you guys did enjoy this unboxing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.